Well, if you thought that was extreme, you won't believe this, or maybe you will because it happened on The View. This is Whoopi Goldberg. She gave a shocking claim about how Black people in our country are comparing to what it's like to live in Iran.
Let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to...
Time felt like it stopped, then boom, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐥𝐚𝐢𝐸 McEnany dropped a truth so sharp it hit like a bomb. Whoopi went from smug to speechless. Real quick, Kay hit her with facts that deadly eyebrow raise and no mercy. The studio froze. Mugs stopped moving and Whoopi looked lost like someone stole her script. What did Kay say that shut it all down? This moment was pure gold.
Whoopi Goldberg has millions of dollars. Whoopi Goldberg's a famous actress. She's on a talk show, Kennedy, and it's time to educate Whoopi Goldberg. Let's meet Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini, we have her picture. She was in Iran, 22 years old. Didn't wear her hijab. So, of course, the morality police arrested her in Iran. She died in a re-education class in prison where she was physically abused by Iranian authorities. So apparently, this is where Whoopi would like.
What happens when you mix a talk show diva with non-stop complaints, a little fake outrage, and a memory that forgets anything that doesn't fit today's drama? You end up with Whoopi Goldberg, the queen of daytime TV, who loves to tell people how to live, even though she's never followed those rules herself.
This is what it's all about. Either you want it to work forward thinking, you want everybody to have the ability to say how they feel, what they want, to move forward, or you don't. Or you want somebody who says, I'm going to be on day one, I'm going to be a dictator. Who says it to you, tells you, I'm going to put you people away. I'm going to take all the journalists, I'm going to take all the gay folks, I'm going to move you all around and disappear you. If that's the country you want, you know who to vote for. If that's not...
And just when everyone thought the drama couldn't get any wilder, here comes 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐥𝐚𝐢𝐸 McEnany with more proof than a Black Friday receipt roll. Goldberg, stuck in her own little bubble, had no clue what was about to hit her because nothing screams woke queen like saying one thing, then flipping it 5 minutes later and getting shut down so hard she didn't even know what hit her.
Groping and electrocution of their genitals. Welcome to Iran, Whoopi Goldberg, but apparently it's harder to live in this country.
Well, it's 2025. I don't know if...
You know, Whoopi's in trouble the second Kay walks in with that smirk and that look that screams, I got the facts. Producers start sweating, publicists start writing apologies. Kay didn't come to play. She came to knock Whoopi right off that shaky throne she's been clinging to for years.
She would not have the privilege of being on a talk show without her hijab and talking about the Iranian regime and challenging them and criticizing them any day of the week. That is what Whoopi Goldberg experiences in the United States as a successful Black woman. In fact, the laws against women especially going out and assembling in order to fight the authoritarianism in Iran, that is met with death. Like you can receive the maximum penalty is death.
All right, let's roll it back for a sec, because if you really want to see how messy Whoopi's takes can get, just look at her own past moments. This is the same lady who once said some words were just too mean, like crime comes with easy and hard modes. That was the moment it became clear she's not dropping wisdom. She's just acting like Twitter is a classroom.
That's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're Black.
Not for everybody.
She acts like that loud aunt mixed with a feelings-based wiki handing out lectures like freebies. But Kay came ready with facts, timelines, and that smirk that says, I got you. Whoopi ranted like always full of fake anger and flip-flops, while Kay stayed calm, waiting to strike cause Whoopi changes her. Takes based on cheers. One day free speech, next day cancel crew. Remember when she said don't judge spouses, then dragged a conservative wife for views and outfits? Kay remembered and dropped a clip so hard it stunned the room, and when Whoopi's cornered, she never defends, just tells random stories like some old soap scene.
And that's not to say that bad things didn't happen previously in this country, but on Juneteenth, where we recognize the emancipation from slavery, Texas, the last state, on this particular day, and she does this the day before, she's just not She's ignorant of the facts. I want to try to be kind because my expectation for Whoopi Goldberg is lower.
While Whoopi was losing it on air, Kay stayed cool like she'd seen this show before. No shouting, no drama, just a calm, sharp comeback, and that made Whoopi lose her mind, cause nothing annoys a loud talker more than someone who won't take the bait. What really set Whoopi off wasn't the facts or the receipts. It was that calm, steady tone that said, this isn't personal, you're just flat out wrong, and like always, Whoopi went straight into victim mode, claiming she was being attacked just for yelling about feelings, vibes, and beeper memories, and of course she clung to her favorite trick, thinking louder means you're right. But this time, yelling failed. Kay didn't raise her voice. She just gave that quiet little smile that said, I'm about to destroy your whole story with your own words and some simple math, and boom, full meltdown.
This goes beyond the pale, because if you can't see where we're coming from, then you have no hope for where we can go. That's as racist as anything else I've heard.
When Whoopi saw she couldn't shout over Kay, she pulled out a vague old story hoping for sympathy, but Kay calmly crushed it with fact states and that soft jab about her memory being off, and that hit deep cause Whoopi knows her past is messy. Watching it fall apart live with no co-host jumping in was brutal. Joy panicked, muttering what aboutism like a broken record, and Sunny tried saving the moment with a messy rant that made no sense. But Kay stayed cool, nodded, and dropped more truth like a teacher with a red pen. Her style isn't just smart, it's bulletproof. Every word backed by receipts ready for Congress or Facebook drama, and every reply landed like a silent mic drop.
Search packets on The View, but they need to start.
There's no question. By the way, Harris also in the last hour on her show is really brilliant on this about it being Juneteenth and about how black people in this country now can rise to be a great anchor, or they can be a doctor or a lawyer. And I don't know what Whoopi was talking about, but when she played Gannon on Star Trek, she actually was a bartender talking to people and meeting them where they live. She's not meeting people where...
Whoopi tried a last-minute surprise hoping to catch Kay off guard, but Kay just lifted an eyebrow, quoted an old headline and said, "You said that during sweeps week." The crowd gasped. Whoopi froze, and the silence that followed hit harder than any comeback. Kay didn't even need a punchline. She let the quiet say it all, like your whole argument just collapsed and we all saw it. The beauty was in the calm, no yelling, no drama, just facts. Kay didn't show up for Whoopi's usual performance. She came to check the facts, and when it was over, Twitter exploded The View, cut to commercial so fast it felt like whiplash. And now the real win, Kay left Whoopi, second-guessing every take, wondering if more receipts are waiting just off camera.
But this goes beyond the pale, because if you can't see where we're coming from, then you have no hope for where we can go. That's as racist as anything else I've heard.
Funny how after years of preaching truth and accountability, Whoopi ended up getting roasted by someone who actually walks the talk. No drama, no spin, just facts delivered with a smirk. The lesson's clear if you're gonna rewrite your past on live TV. Make sure Kayleigh McEnany isn't watching, cause she'll find every clip, sort it by date, and bring the receipts with a smile sharp enough to cut glass, maybe. Whoopi should take a break. Join a book club where no one checks facts, or start a solo podcast where she can rant without getting wrecked. Cause right now, Kay owns the ring and Whoopi's left mumbling and wondering why the applause stopped. And here's the real twist. Viewers didn't just get a viral moment, they got a front row seat to what happens when the truth shows up uninvited and doesn't back down.
Poor thing, Iran just passed another law at the end of last year, making it even worse for young women and girls, where they can be put to death for this, for showing their legs, like the women on The View. It's unconscionable that she would try to make a moral equivalency here.
Yeah, how offensive. I mean, Emily, there are a lot of courageous Iranians who have stood up to the government, young women in particular, and said, no, I want freedom, and they've lost their lives because of it. I mean, does Whoopi have any understanding of this?
You could feel the tension crawling up the studio walls like static in the air as everything suddenly froze. What started off like just another typical loud daytime rant quickly morphed into something much deeper, something way more uncomfortable, a full-scale live TV meltdown. And the wild part, it didn't take a shouting match or name-calling to trigger it. It just took one calm woman who actually showed up ready to push back against the usual echo chamber. The panel squirmed in their chairs, some pretending to read cue cards, others just staring at nothing, hoping it would end on its own. But the cameras kept rolling, the lights stayed on, and Whoopi stood there blinking, confused, cornered, completely out of lines, and the whole room felt it, that shift, that sharp, quiet moment when all the fire and noise disappears and there's just awkward silence hanging heavy in the air. Kay didn't gloat, didn't smile wide, didn't even react. She didn't need to, because that silence said everything. It was louder than any comeback could ever be. It said, "You're exposed and there's nothing left to cover it up." The aftermath was something else. The press scrambled to spin it, calling it a spirited exchange while quietly rewriting everything they praised the day before. Late night hosts ignored it completely, probably scared of getting the same treatment. But the real win was with the audience, the ones who actually watched and remembered, because they saw through the noise, they saw the truth, and they hit replay over and over again because it was clear. And in today's world where confusion is king, clarity is dangerous, and this moment was all about clarity. This moment showed what happens when someone walks into a room full of noise and cuts through it without raising their voice. And now moving forward, every time someone starts preaching or lecturing on live TV, the viewers will think twice before nodding or clapping too fast, because now they know somewhere out there a K is watching, waiting, listening, and more than ready to break down the next fake story with a calm voice, a stack of facts, and a stare that says game over.